Now, let's get into what I really want to get into, because like I said, Sammy Singlet, I've been tugging a bit, but I'm about to rip it. I don't think Scott can be physically attracted to you. Why do you feel that way? Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing okay and everyone is doing well. Guys, I had to take a breather before starting this review, because if I do not rip some people's singlet in today's review and do not allow their nyash to be on display, you're gonna call me a liar. I'm tearing so many singles in this review and I'm not holding back, okay? I'm actually not holding back. So, as I usually and always say, number one, sorry guys, I started off so negative. I'm so sorry, but that episode actually really irritated me. But anyway, let's get into it. So, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. We are on the road to 30k. Also, be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also on my Twitter at SarahDestinyX. And like I usually and I always say, because it is so hot in the UK, please get yourself a cold drink. I have a green smoothie again today. So yeah, get cozy and comfy, guys. And let's get into today's review. A very long one. My notes are so long because we had an hour and 25 minutes I think today. But yeah, oh, don't you worry, I'm tearing singlets. So let's start off with the ending of yesterday. You guys know we were introduced to two bombshells, Montel and Mal. It was quite nice that we were actually able to be introduced to them again, if I'll be honest with you, because I feel like we kind of got a different side to them, you know what I mean? But we'll start off with Mal. Mal is 25. I forgot what she does for a living, but she loves skiing. I think she's really cute. I think she's very expressive, and I don't know why, but I think she is really cute. I think she's also half Thai and half British, I think. But either way, I think she is really cute. And yeah, she also doesn't sound how I expected her to sound. I don't know why, but yeah. And of course, we're also introduced to Montel. Montel is 25. He is a account manager / semi-pro. It's given range, okay? But I do have to be honest in saying that he is actually really cute. But as we do know, as the dates go on, the thing about him is you can tell he is really awkward. But he's really cute, guys. I won't lie, I do think he's cute. So yeah, maybe the photographer for Love Island just needs to do more. I don't know. But yeah, he definitely looked better when he was in motion. Okay, so let's start off with, I'll briefly speak about their dates and then we'll go into the villa and then all the nonsense that took place in today's episode. Like I said, get cozy and comfy because we're discussing a lot today. All right, so the date with Sammy and Leah, I do think it was all right. I think Sammy was 100% trying to just make it clear that you're my type on paper, blah blah blah, because we do know that of course Sammy and Jess cannot recouple, and there was a lot of flirting and laughing going on. I don't actually care for Sammy right now, so anything that is associated with good and positivity to him, I don't care. But we'll get into that shortly, so I'm going to wrap up that date. Of course, Jess and Mitch were definitely stressed. I won't lie. They're all like, oh my God, they're kissing. Oh my God, they're doing this. Oh my God, they're doing that. Not kissing, but they'll kiss on the cheek. And I think Mitch and Jess, they both agreed. I forgot who said it first, but they said, okay, if it doesn't work out, then let's just get together and get married. So I guess they are quite weird in their own right together, but it's quite interesting to see. Of course, we know that Jess did like Mitch in the beginning, but he wanted to go for his little Molly. So it's very interesting to see how the tables have turned and things are panning out for them. Now we're briefly moving to Mal and Mitch's date. Guys, Mitch is so awkward. God. Mitch is so awkward. Mitch is just like, you got really nice teeth. You brush them every day. These are my teeth. Like, the way Mitch flirts is just so Mitch. I don't even have any other words to describe it. But yeah, Mitch's flirting is very interesting. And Montel and Jess were just getting to know each other. And also, I think she spoke about marriage and how many kids they want and stuff like that. So the dates, all in all, were okay. And I think Montel and Mal, they're cute, you know, they're good vibes. Now, let's move on, not prior, but at the same time, guys, it's going to be such a long review. But anyway, at the same time, Zach and Mehdi were doing clink clink. They were having a conversation and Zach was just like, listen, I know people have said XYZ but don't care about it, you know what you have going on, you know, we're older in this villa, we're wiser, you know, all this older and wiser talk. That book that Zach read, it must really be working because he was actually talking a lot of sense in today's episode. But Mehdi was saying, of course, he doesn't need to prove himself to anyone. All he needs to prove himself is to himself. And they ended it with, I think Zach said, options are assholes, like everyone has them. I really love that saying, by the way, because everyone has, not options, sorry, opinions. Everyone has an opinion, you know what I mean? So yeah, I won't lie, I really liked that conversation between them. It was given bromance, and it was given, I'm looking out for you as my bro, XYZ. So yeah, I did really like that conversation with Zach and Mehdi. Briefly move on to Whitney and Molly. They were talking, and she said that Mitch was doing too much with his whole speech, and that the whole point of coming to Love Island was for you to go against your usual type, which is very interesting. So I think this kind of does, I know I told you guys before that I don't know if Whitney and Mehdi are true, but I actually do think they do really like each other. But Whitney did make me laugh because she was like, well, of course we're opposites, duh. I'm from East London, he's from France, are we supposed to meet at the airport? Like, I did really like that. But yeah, I just feel like Mitch and Sammy were just cop-outs when it came to their little speech. But I'm going to get into both of them very soon because singlets need to be torn in today's review. Now, let's move on to the girls talking about Jess and the fact that her and Sammy, the girls are talking about Jess and the fact that her and Sammy are not compatible, and all the fact that they argue. It was very interesting because Ella was definitely the ringleader of that topic and that conversation. And in mid-convo, she realised, oh shoot, I think all the other girls actually are here for Jess, so maybe I'm the only one. So that was very interesting. I guess the self-awareness definitely kicked in because the girls were definitely siding Jess's side, even though Jess wasn't there, against Ella's side, and Ella was defo going in. I feel like Ella has clocked that. Not only is she the odd one out, but I think she's clocked Jess. But we'll get into Jess shortly as well, because if her singlet doesn't get torn today, you're going to call me a liar. And I'm not a liar, so let's go. So of course, we'll briefly move on again to Scott. He was pissed off at Sammy, saying that, you know, the whole comment with, the fact that he thinks that I can't be attracted to Catherine, etc, etc. And I was just like, yes, Scott, right, get him. There was a lot of shade thrown in their little speeches, I'm sorry, and I'm glad that Scott picked up on it. And we do know Catherine ends up having a conversation with him later on, which makes her cry, which is why I have to tear his singlet, because why is our good sis crying on TV? I don't know, but I'm glad that Scott's self-awareness kind of kicked in. And yeah, he just didn't understand, like, how can you say I'm not physically attracted to her? You're not me and I'm not you, so speak for yourself. Now let's move on to Scott and Catherine having a conversation. Catherine said that she's really happy that everyone sees that they're getting along, and that is confirmation that, you know, they are very happy together. Even in Scott's confessionals, he was saying, you know, we look good together, we're happy together, there's good banter. So the ending didn't really surprise me, but at the same time it did surprise me, because we do know a couple episodes he kind of did not look off Catherine completely, but he did tell Catherine, sorry guys, I'm so hot, but he did tell Catherine, yeah, there is a likelihood that I do want to get to know Leah a bit more and stuff like that. So the change has been quite interesting to see, but if Catherine is happy, I'm not going to shoot it or knock it. I want her to be happy. Now let's move on to Mal. Mal and Montel, of course, ended up coming back to the villa. So we'll speak about Mal getting to speak to the girls, and then also Montel. So Mal was speaking to the girls. She introduced herself and she said that Scott, Sammy and Zach are her top three. Sorry guys, I want to whiz through this quickly because there's so much to speak about. And then Montel was saying that Jess is a cute girl, but Leah is more of his type. About her eye contact is crazy. Guys, I still have been asking you guys to let me know what everyone sees in Leah. I think she's so boring. She really doesn't give me much. Like I said, oats and no milk. Move on briefly to Jess. This is when the nonsense started, right? Ugh, this episode was so irritating. So Jess now comes to sit down in the midst of the girls, and she basically said that she just started crying, by the way. And I've already told you guys, I'm not an insensitive person, but the amount of Karen tears that we've seen, we're literally 14, 15 episodes in, it's enough. We've heard you, we've seen, it's actually okay. So Jess now sat down, she started crying. She was like, oh, you know when you can feel someone's crying? So she started, you know, amping up, the tears started coming, and then all the girls like, oh, Jess, don't cry. She was just like, no, I just feel like, you know, I just feel like people are just being fake in here, and I expected you and you. And who does she point to? Catherine and Whitney. Is she mad? Is everyone crazy? And I don't want anyone to come and tell me, oh, the race card, because I'm going to get into that very shortly, because I speak the truth on this channel. It is what it is. But I honestly don't understand what Jess was playing at. I'm tired of the tears. It was a game. Everyone had to pick a couple. If it wasn't you, it was going to be somebody else. If you're so compatible, you should not care. So why on earth are you crying and blaming other people? Whitney and Catherine are not the only two people that picked you and Sammy, by the way. Let's read the room. You guys got quite a few votes. So I don't understand the whole, I just feel like everyone's being fake in here. Since you've been being fake. Is it you've been being fake. Look at my English self. But you've been being fake to Molly. Same girl that you're like is fake, is fake, is fake. In her face, you couldn't say what you wanted to. So honestly, she's getting on my last nerves. I'll be very honest with you. And I honestly just feel like at the end of the day, even Catherine spoke and Catherine was like, oh yeah, but I don't need to feel that way about the compatibility thing. We just had to say what we thought and I thought this and blah, blah. So I'm glad that Catherine stood up for herself, but I'm just over the tears. I'm over it. Like, guys, I'm so over it. Jess needs to get it together. And the fact she was pointing at Whitney and Catherine, she needs to watch those fingers. Okay, she needs to watch those fingers because I don't know who she's pointing to. Now let's move on to the nighttime. She was still speaking about it to the girls as she was getting ready. To some of them, she was just like, I just honestly feel like me and Sammy are closer than why are you comparing? And I don't know why you guys care so much. And she also needs to read the room because Sammy has made it very clear that he isn't that attracted to Jess as she thinks. But sis is choosing to be blind, but she needs to focus on her focus. I love saying that to people. Focus on your focus, okay? This is a completely different scenario. You guys are completely different people. Stop comparing what you're going through to what they're going through. Focus on how you guys are going to be better tomorrow, all right? You don't need to be looking left or right when you can be looking straight ahead. So I need sis to behave. And in all honesty, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I think that was it. But in all honesty, just close it up. Guys, I'm not a rude person. I try my best to be very civil when I do these reviews, but Jess was outright irritating me in today's episode and she needs to be told off. Okay? Her singer actually needs to be torn because I don't know what on earth she was playing at with them little Karen tears for a good 10 seconds. Let it go, alright? Now, let's move on to the following morning. Zach, like I said, has definitely been reading from this book. He was like, guys, you know, we've got 2 islanders in the villa. Let's let bygones be bygones and let's welcome them with open arms. So Zach is, wow. The PR is strong. I don't know how much I'm on that boat just yet, but the PR currently is definitely strong. Now we'll briefly move into the girls' chats and also the guys' chat. So we'll start off with Molly. Molly was saying the fact that her and Zach had no votes, that it made her feel very comfortable. I really don't care for Molly and Zach. Wow, I really don't care. So I'm just going to move on swiftly. Jess said it took her by surprise that, you know, me and Sammy would vote. I need her to read the room. It's not rocket science and it's not common sense. Sammy is not as interested in you as you think he is. He has made so many sly comments to the guys. Oh, moving night if he's still here is going to be so sweet. Whitney said that she doesn't appreciate the side comments and bitterness from Sammy, and I 100% hear it. I mean, it's given bitter Betty. They were also very strategic with the morning chats because Whitney, Catherine and Molly had their chats together and Jess was talking to Ella and Leon, whoever else is in that villa, I don't remember. Now moving on to the guys, Sammy was saying he thinks it's a joke that Scott and Catherine had fewer votes than them. Like I said, he needs to close it up, hush it up quickly. It's the following day. You can only be so triggered if you feel like your secret is out, because if you really like someone and you think you're so compatible, you're not going to care. All of this showed me that Sammy is a very young boy. With that big head, he is a very young boy. He needs to turn this on immediately. He actually needs to switch it on because I don't understand why this topic is still on your lip the next day. Melly was saying that he feels great and I'm happy for him. And Mitch was saying that they were chosen because people don't want to hurt other people's feelings. No, Mitch, we chose you and Leah because you and Leah are literally incompatible. Let's move on now to Melly and Sammy talking, and he said that he was surprised by his reaction and wanted to know why he had that energy. And he literally just said that he feels like people can think what they think, but the respect thing is completely different. Once again, I just think Sammy was just looking for someone to put this energy onto, and it just didn't make any sense. He should have just been grown and moved on with it. The fact you're looking for loopholes as to why they were voted least and it's not that deep. Even if it is that deep for you, you shouldn't care if you really like the girl. It's because you don't like the girl, you know that the secret is coming out. So I was very much over, I've been over Sammy, but I was very much over him in today's episode. Montel and Catherine were talking about how they've been going through a crazy experience, and of course they were having a conversation. She did let him know that she's very happy with Scott, but at the same time she was open to getting to know him. I think she mentioned that she had a master's and he was like, oh wow, I'm dealing with a real one. Yeah, good chat between them. Do I think anything is going to blossom? No, but good chat between them. Mitch and Mal were also talking, and Mitch literally remembered everything that Mal told him on the date before. So he was like, your best friend is this, you're this height, you're from this country, XYZ, da 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 da. And stuff like that should be cute, I'll be honest with you, but because it's Mitch, it's not cute, it's scary. Okay? But Mal did say that she does feel like Mitch hasn't really been too forward, and she does like that about him. So maybe Mitch is learning that being forward is just not the way. Now let's move on to Sammy talking to Scott. He basically just wanted to find out what it was. Scott really just wanted clarity, like, bro, you said that you don't think I can be physically attracted to this girl. Let's make that make sense. What exactly are you saying? And Sammy, of course, was then saying again that he doesn't feel like there's physical or sexual chemistry, so he's not taking what he said back. my thing is, like I said, we didn't ask for your opinion. Everyone gave their votes and left it. Why are you still talking to me about this situation? Like, I don't care if you think I don't have physical or sexual chemistry with Catherine. Even if that wasn't the case, I really don't care. But on top of that, you know, like, Sammy, the reason why, what I hate is that Sammy's acting so dumb because he knows what he said. He knows what he said about Jess to everyone else. So you've even said yourself, you're not physically attracted to her. You just like Jess's personality. So why are you now using that as an excuse to be talking about everyone else's situation when you should be focusing on your own grass? Now, let's get into what I really want to get into. Because like I said, Sammy singlet, I've been tugging a bit, but I'm about to rip it. I'm about to rip that singlet and his nyash is actually about to be on display. So, Sammy, Whitney and Catherine were having a conversation, alright? I don't know if that convo was genuine, i.e. they decided to have the convo or the producers. But anyway, they were having a conversation and the main essence of that conversation was Catherine was trying to find out, what do you mean by me and Scott are not compatible? What do you mean there's a lack of sexual this? What do you mean there's a lack of physical, there's a lack of this, there's a lack of that? Now guys, I already tweeted this. The tweet was even blowing up a bit. The trolls started coming. You know when your tweet reaches a certain, the trolls start to come, blocking every single one of you one by one, because if you are not black, you may not understand it. And that's not shade to anyone else who is of a different race, but I low-key got PTSD from today's episode because as a black girl, it's also been something that I've experienced and I'm sure many other black girls have experienced as well. So of course, he started saying, oh, he's not taking it back. I just feel like compared to me and Jess and you don't have, and you could tell that Catherine was very close to saying what we all knew she wanted to say. And I'm very glad that Whitney was there having that conversation with her, because if Catherine had that convo alone, I don't know how, even though she ended up crying, which is why I had to tear his singlet, because why is our sis crying on TV? If she had that convo alone, I don't know how she would have been able to handle it. Because as you know, Catherine, she's a really soft girl. You know, she's very soft-spoken. She seems to be very sweet. And people are always saying, oh, she needs to speak more, she needs to speak more. But if that's her personality, you can't force her to be something that she isn't. But I'm very glad that she spoke up for herself today because I know exactly what she's speaking about. So obviously, Scott was just like, I just feel this way. And then she just kept saying, stop mentioning the whole physical aspect. Like, let's not, guys, do I need to spell things out? Because maybe some people are like, they don't get what I'm saying, okay? I don't think I need to spell things out. She kept saying, stop mentioning the physical. He was just like, but that's what it is. And then you could see that she started to get emotional. Whitney was just saying, no, Scott, you need to understand where she's coming from, blah, 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 blah. And then Catherine started crying. And like I said, if you are a black girl, you will know why she's crying. I mean, it's not rocket science. There have been so many instances, so many seasons, so many times, so many experiences that so many black girls have where they are made to feel ugly or they're made to feel undesirable or they're made to feel below or less than just because of their skin color. Nothing else. Take personality out of the equation. You haven't mentioned that you don't think we have personality clashes or that our personality is wishy and washy. No, your sole thing is physical attraction. I don't think Scott can be physically attracted to you. Why do you feel that way? Why? Why do you feel that way? And why do you feel okay to express that you feel that way when you see that the girl that is affecting and bothering is literally affecting her? And I'm not surprised because Sammy in the past, he didn't even apologize properly to Leah. Remember when Leah cried to him and he was like, oh, I'm not responsible for your emotions, even though you're the one that caused her to cry. Let's make it make perfect sense. But my thing was, like I said, as a black girl, with knowing how black girls have been made to feel in the past and even currently and possibly in the future as well, Sammy should have been mute. Like, honestly, seeing her cry, sorry, I'm so sorry. He even was just like, I think when he even tried to apologize, Whitney was like, what are you apologizing for? He was just like, I'm sorry for how it came across. So you're not sorry about what you said. You're sorry about how it came across. You're crazy. I'm so sorry, guys. I was pissed off in today's episode. And I don't even like being angry because I'm quite a calm girl. But it's just the principle of it. And I feel like Sammy is very distasteful. I'm going to say it again. He is very distasteful. He is very unhinged. He is a child, okay? He's very immature. He doesn't know how to comprehend other people's emotions and feelings. And that is a problem and a red flag in itself. Nobody is dumb, okay? And the fact he even made her cry, forget it. Your days are numbered. Oh, you are running on borrowed time. Start packing those bags, Sammy, because you're leaving that villa very soon. Now, let's move on briefly to Ella and Montel having a conversation about each other's types. Not really much to say there other than the fact that I feel like Tyreek displayed a huge level of growth. He was just like, God, like, she's talking to him. Yeah, that's cool. Like, and I think that's just because he even said as well, like, you know, I feel like we're in a very good... sorry guys, but I do feel like we're in a very good place. So he was a bit more chilled out about it, but Ella seemed like she was feeling Montel's vibe. I just don't think she's gonna go for him. I think he comes across as being too shy. Ella will eat that guy. Okay, Ella will actually chew him. Now let's move on to Jess and Mitchell having a little conversation. He was pretending to couple up with her, like, I decided to couple up with this girl because XYZ. And then of course she was just speaking to him about how she feels about the whole Sammy situation and the fact that he made Catherine cry earlier and he didn't even apologise for it. That's a red flag. Side note, Catherine cried and I think Whitney was the only person there for her. But when other people cry, the whole villa flocks. And I'm going to hold on to that because I'm going to get onto something in the end because, yeah, I'll get into that shortly. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Now let's briefly move on to Ty and Montel speaking. Not really much to discuss other than the fact that Ty said he has these eyes on Leah and Catherine, and not Ty, sorry, Montel. And Ty was like, yeah, Leah definitely is feeling you, blah blah blah. He instantly was just like, what do you think about Ella though? But yeah, I don't think Ella is gonna go for him, number one. And number two, as much as Montel said, yeah, she's cool in it, I feel like Montel is actually low-key scared of Ty. I think the personality differences is just, yeah, so I don't think he's actually gonna go for her. Oh guys, I'm so hot, it's actually insane. Cheers. I was probably gulping that really loudly. I'm so sorry, guys. Now, that's the sweet one. Now let's move over to Sammy now coming to apologise to Catherine. It's a little too late, honey, okay? Because I don't even know if that apology was you. I don't know if that's a little PR stunt for the producers to kind of just, do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of these things, especially because we know that as much as it is a reality TV show, the producers actually get them and prompt them to do certain stuff. So I don't really know how genuine that was. And to be honest, I don't really care. He was saying, oh, I'm a bit mixed up with my words. You're a grown guy. I forgot Sammy's age, but you're definitely over 20. You know how to read. You know how to comprehend. You know how to read situations and emotions and people. So learn how to read the room. I don't want to hear any excuse of I'm mixed up with my words at your age. Grow up, and I do not care for that apology because it is a little too late. Thank you very much. Now let's move on to Jess and Mitch talking about how she's over Sammy. And Mitch said that his parents and sisters would really like her, and he basically talked himself out of the friend zone. Literally. So he was like, listen Jess, we're not friends anymore, by the way. We're not friends, all right? We're more than friends. We want to be more than friends. This is what I mean. Mitch, I don't think anyone comes close to that guy. I'll be very honest with you. Now let's quickly move on to Mal and Zach having a conversation. Zach is into Molly May, you know, wow, Zach is into Molly, but I don't think he's going to be into her for too long. Him and Mal had a lot of chemistry. They looked like they were flirting. Mal definitely likes his vibe as well, and he also said that he isn't fully closed off, so we'll see if something blossoms there. Anything else I want to discuss? Montel and Leah talking, not much to discuss other than Leah gives me dry oats with no milk. I'm just so over it. Let's move on to Sammy and Jess talking about how they currently couple each other. He was acting like he cares. He was just like, I just want to let you know, like, oh, it's a shame, but like obviously I just want to let you know like firsthand because I respect you, yeah, I respect you. I just feel like I'm going to start speaking to Mal, like she's 100% my type. Jess is not reading the room. Okay, she said it. She's 100% my type. She's 100% my natural type, and we already know that Sammy isn't physically attracted to Jess because he has already let us know. So I feel like he was just speaking like he cares, but in all honesty, this recoupling and the rule with them not being able to recouple was a blessing for him in disguise, and he's trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, but obviously we had a really good thing going. You knew you didn't have a good thing going, so let's not play dumb here. Let's move on to Montel and Catherine having a conversation. Sorry, my notes jumped, but yeah, Montel and Catherine having a conversation. He's actually quite cute, guys. I did really say this in the beginning. I do think he's quite cute, but he's really young. They were having a little bit of a flirt, but I just don't think anything is going to what's it called, blossom from there. She did say though that on the outside world that he would be her type, and I think vice versa, but I don't see anything happening there, if I'll be honest, and we know why, because Scott. All right, now let's move on to Leah and Scott having a conversation, and he pretty much told her that he feels like, yes, he has a conversation with Leah, not a conversation, yes, he has a connection with Leah, but he really wants to continue exploring things with Catherine. Leah looked like she didn't take it well, sorry, because I think Leah was just like, so you want to get to know her too. So I think Leah was just kind of irritated at the fact that he didn't want to cut things off with Catherine, and even if he does want to get to know her, he still wants to get to know Catherine at the same time. But definitely screaming, like, I don't know, this is what I mean, like, what does Leah really give for me personally? Because this is like, this is the third guy that has basically just, I think Scott is like the third guy that's basically been like, yeah, I think. But yeah, she just doesn't, I just find her a bit boring. Oh guys, I'm sinking in my chair. But yeah, I just find her a bit boring. Now let's move on, of course, to the ending. All right, Scott ended up pulling Catherine for a chat and told her that, you know, they're going to go to the terrace. Before I get onto what happened on the terrace, I do want to be honest in saying that I do not know if the girls really like Catherine. And I know that's a big statement to make, guys, I'm sorry. But Molly rolled her eyes. Is she crazy? Jess was screwing. Like, usually whenever anyone goes on the terrace, you're just like, oh my god, okay, have fun. Apart from Whitney, I don't really know who is really down for Catherine to be happy. Like, I don't understand. So for me, I know, you guys know, I note down anything. I jotted that down because I found that very suspicious and very interesting. The girls are starting to give me bad vibes, guys. Yeah, they're starting to give me bad vibes. And Jess is joining that roster oh so quickly. All right? But of course, we know that Scott and Catherine ended up going on the terrace and it ended up having a kiss, a long one at that. I hope it's genuine because I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know if I trust Scott. I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know. Gosh, I don't know. I just want Catherine to be happy. So if he is genuine, I'm happy for Catherine. But right now, I don't know what vibe I'm kind of getting from him. But, you know, it says a lot for him to, I guess, low-key lock things off with Leah and want to pursue things with Catherine. And even Catherine was saying, you know, I'm just so happy with how we are. And he was smiling as well. So yeah, like I said, I just really hope Scott is Catherine. I just really hope that Scott is genuine. Of course, we ended up getting a small glimpse into tomorrow's episode in which they're going to play the Never Have I Ever. And there's one big question about cheating. I think Zach confesses to cheating and Jess shouts, once a cheater, always a cheater. She's starting to get on my nerves. I just have to be very honest and put that out there. But I won't lie, another strong episode, and I'm also looking forward to tomorrow's episode as well. But yeah, guys, that is the end of today's review. A lot to discuss, a lot to uncover, a lot of singlets to tear, and a lot of people need to start packing their bags because they need to go home. But I'd love to know what you guys did actually think of today's episode down below in the comments. As always, guys, I love you so much. If you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. But other than that, please do take care, stay blessed, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.